What's going on, guys? I'm HairyPinecones, and this is Do Not Take This Cat Home Part 2. Now, if you didn't watch Part 1, it's linked on screen now and down below in the description. This game has multiple endings, and in Part 1, we took the cat home and decided to do things without the cat. But before we dive in, be sure to subscribe, and if you enjoy the video, let me know down in the comments which ending was your favorite. Now let's give this cat some attention and see how it decides to end us this time. Alright, we're gonna do stuff with the cat. Like what? We're gonna pet the cat. It's not every day you have access to a cute, fluffy animal. What else is there to do but pet it to your heart's content? You sit on the floor in your living room and click your tongue to call the cat over. Cat dashes over to you, immediately climbing into your lap. Poor thing. You just want some attention, don't you? Hehe. Alright. You carefully pet the cat. A rub behind the ear, a scratch under the chin, a smooth sweep along the back. Good? You keep petting the cat in your lap, enjoying this bonding time together. But the cat starts to get restless after a while. You gotta keep petting. You're not quite ready to stop. You feel so calm. The repetitive action, soothing your usually overworked mind. You keep petting. The cat leans away from your next head pat. It's trying to get out of your lap. When you scratch under the cat's chin, it bites at your fingers. You might be bleeding, but really it barely hurts. More of a warning than anything. The cat struggles in your hold. It's watching you closely. Keep petting. You keep petting the cat. The cat bites off your finger. It hurts. You're definitely bleeding now, but for some reason, you just can't stop. You don't know what it is. Its fur is much softer than you realized. You'd think that it would be shining in the faint light of your living room, but it's as if the darkness of the cat's black coat is sucking in all the illumination around it, rendering it completely null. You're drawn to it, like you're somehow holding a deep dark abyss right in your lap. It seems calmer now, munching on your severed finger. The stump between your thumbs and middle finger is leaking. But you keep petting. You fret that your blood will ruin its fur, but the cat no longer seems to mind. Time passes. It's dark out now. Soft as the fur is, your palm has started to feel raw and damp under the constant friction from your petting. You think faintly that maybe you've had enough. You start to lift your hand from the cat, when in a flash, your entire hand is separated from your wrist. It flops onto your lap beside the cat. The cat's claws on its front right paw glisten with crimson liquid. You don't feel it for a moment, but your body tenses, anticipating the pain as you blankly watch the cat lick at the bloody palm of your severed hand. It hurts. It really, really hurts. Then, the cat looks up at you, and you feel compelled to keep petting. You're reluctant, but you're also afraid of what will happen if you don't heed the call. What will you lose next if you try to resist again? You were hurt for your insistent petting earlier, yet now you've been hurt for trying to stop. It defies all logic, but that's what scares you. There's no reasoning with such fickle whims. You feebly try to raise your uninjured hand to pet the cat, but it stiffens, golden eyes glinting dangerously. Well, alright then. You raise your bleeding stump and resume your petting to the best of your ability. You pet, and you bleed. You pet, and you bleed. You pet, and you bleed. You pet, and you... Ending 7. Personal boundaries. Alright, now we're gonna feed the cat. Cat looks hungry, so you decide to feed it. You're regretting not stopping for food earlier, as you don't have much left. Grocery shopping day is tomorrow, after all. You head to the kitchen and click your tongue, ensuring the cat follows after you. It leaps nimbly onto the kitchen counter and watches as you search for meal options. Let's see. You find some things you expect. Can of tuna in the pantry. Some leftover meatloaf in the fridge. And... Huh? What's that? You realize there's a tightly sealed Tupperware on the bottom shelf of your fridge. You don't recognize it. A foul odor is leaking from the container. Whatever's inside can't be safe for human consumption. But the cat wants it. But the cat seems excited about it, practically salivating over it. Still, you're the caretaker here. You're the one who needs to decide what's best to feed a hungry cat. So you'll feed it. We're gonna start with tuna. Cats like fish, right? Shrugging, you take out the tuna for the cat and the meatloaf for yourself. You put the frankly ominous container back in the fridge. The cat looks a little disappointed. Tough. You'll need to dispose of that weird whatever it is later. You open the tuna and spoon it onto a small saucer. You put the saucer on the kitchen counter next to the cat. You don't think you should be encouraging it to eat up there, but you figure it'll make up for electing not to feed it the toxic goop it wanted. The cat looks like it finds the tuna acceptable. You'll take it. Eat up, kitty. As the cat digs into its meal, you go about heating up the meatloaf in the microwave. While setting the time, you hear... You turn and see that the plate is completely empty. Whoa, that was quick. You need to pace yourself. What the? You watch baffled as the cat continues to hiccup, causing little bubbles to float out of its mouth. Okay. That's okay. You can process this. It's not completely out of the realm of what's possible, right? Right. Best not to think too hard about it. Soon enough, the room is full of the floating bubbles. The cat releases a final, tiny bubble before yawning and laying down right there on the counter. Well, glad you enjoyed it. The bubbles haven't left the room or popped. They seem to be pretty resilient. Wait, what? What's that? As one of the bubbles floats closer to you, you see that there's actually something inside it. A tiny, furry fish? This is just getting weirder and weirder. You can't help but marvel at the impossible wonder in front of you. You lift a hand. You extend a finger towards the bubble. Carefully press it against the surface. The tiny fish inside lashes out, viciously sinking its tiny fangs into your finger. It doesn't really hurt that much at first, but then... Ow! What? The pain starts to climb from your finger to the rest of your hand, past your wrist. Could it be some kind of venom? You fling your arm around in an attempt to dislodge the fish, but... Good. You accidentally knock your arm into several of the bubbles floating around. More tiny, ravenous fish latch onto your flesh. You stumble back out of pain, and a sudden bout of dizziness, only to bump into more bubbles. More fish digging their teeth into your back. It hurts. You're getting dizzy. You've got to get out. You deliriously try to stumble out of the kitchen, but the entire room is filled with deadly bubbles. By the time you collapse to the ground, you're absolutely covered in tiny, angry, biting fish. Your legs, your torso, your arms, your face. The pain is unbearable. You can feel it in your skin, and your teeth, and your eyes, and your hair, and it's so consuming, you can't even feel yourself convulsing, or crying. You don't black out. Your eyes are still rolling up into your skull when you gasp out your last breath. Ending 8. Fish out of water. Okay, and now we're gonna feed it meatloaf. You get the feeling the cat won't be too impressed with anything that comes out of a can, and you're not about to feed it whatever the heck that toxic-looking sludge is. So it's settled. A tuna sandwich for you, and leftover meatloaf for your feline guest. You ignore the cat's disappointed meows as you put the weird container back in the fridge to dispose of later. You warm up the meatloaf in the microwave. You place the now warm meatloaf on a saucer next to the cat on the counter. You don't think you should be encouraging it to eat up there, but you figure it'll make up for electing not to feed it the toxic goop it wanted. The cat looks like it finds the meatloaf interesting. Works for you. Eat up, kitty. As the cat digs into its meal, you go about searching for some bread for your tuna sandwich. You're so distracted by your search that you only just barely hear... You turn around and see that the meatloaf was only 1, maybe 2 bites taken out of it, but more alarmingly, there seems to be a red trail of... something leading away from where the cat had been sitting. And off the edge of the counter towards the living room is that blood? You jump at that strange sound coming from around the corner. Further into your apartment. You attempt to steel your nerves. Taking a breath, you walk around the corner to head into the living room. You stepped in something warm and wet and red. You resist the urge to vomit and step away from the trail of... You follow the trail into the living room and see that it leads into the hall. It's getting louder. It's definitely in the hall. You feel like you can hear your heartbeat. You hope whatever is in the hall can't. Your body shakes as you feel yourself step forward. And forward. and forward, and forward. You peek around the corner. Nothing. There's nothing there. What? You walk further into the hall and see that the trail leads all the way down to the end of it. But there's nothing there. You don't quite feel relief, but at least you feel something wet and warm drip onto your cheek. Something very warm. You swipe your shaking hand across it and pull it back to see your fingers covered in something. You look up and see what can only be described as meat. The entire ceiling of the hallway is covered in a thick, undulating, writhing layer of pulsing meat. At its center is a single glowing eyeball, frantically rolling around in every direction, until it lands squarely on you. You try to take a step back, desperate to escape the hallway, to escape this thing, but before you can even scream, meaty tendrils shoot out and grab you. No! Let me go! They pull you up and up into a pair of slowly opening jaws. And then chomp. Ending 9. Leftovers. Alright, now we're gonna feed it the mystery food. Is this really a good idea? Ugh, fine. I guess if this is what you want, you open the container and... You just barely manage to keep from throwing up. But just barely. The stench is overwhelming. Yeah, give me a minute. You hazard a look at the contents of the container, but you honestly can't understand what you're supposed to be looking at. Everything is just mashed together. What exactly everything consists of is a mystery that you're more than happy to keep unsolved. Different shapes, different sizes, different textures. Not the color, though. All of it is the same color. The most unfortunate looking shade of gray you've ever seen, tinted with a nauseatingly wet green film over it. Am I supposed to warm it up, or you don't really know how to serve it? Any utensil or plate that touches it is getting thrown out immediately. No exceptions. Your hands are going to be scrubbed with soap and hot water to within an inch of their lives after this. You decide against putting this crap in your microwave. You doubt it would taste or smell any better warm. Not wanting to hold it anymore, you shake your head and practically toss the container next to the cat on the counter. The cat enthusiastically dives for the toxic-looking sludge, sniffing it as if savoring the scent. You turn to the fridge and close it. You've lost your appetite. You're about to head to the bathroom to wash your hands for the next hour or so when... Ow! A sharp pain on your foot causes you to stumble. You catch yourself on the kitchen sink and look down to see that the tip of your sock is... red. And the red is slowly spreading to the rest of your sock. Are you bleeding? You quickly reach down and pull off your sock to see the damage. Your middle toe is gone. It's just gone. Just a stump is left in its place, steadily leaking blood onto the floor. You clumsily step back, as if it would help you get away from what you were seeing. The blood trail simply follows your movements. 911. You have to call 911. Phone. Where's the... Uh, uh, what? Your your tongue is what? Have a What's happening to me? You slowly look over to find the cat is still eating, completely unbothered by your suffering. Not bothering to try and stop the blood from dribbling out of your mouth. You keep watching in a daze as the cat happily chews at a gross piece of... Wait, that's... You look more closely at the mystery food in the cat's jaws. It looks vaguely familiar. It looks like a tongue? Before you can even think to do anything to stop it, the cat dives into the container again and bites into a piece. Good. You collapse to the floor, clutching your torso. You writhe around on the blood-streaked tiles, crying. Something inside you just... Blood pours out from deep within you. Whatever that was felt important. And now it's probably gone too. It hurts. It hurts so much. Stop, please. You weakly try to reach up to the cat on the counter above you. Your vision blurs from the effort, from the pain, from your tears, from... Your eyes. Your eyes. You fall limply back to the floor. You're leaking blood all over. From all over. Your foot, your mouth, your insides, your eye sockets. You can feel your life fading away too. That's fine. If it means not feeling the pain of losing another part of you, then hopefully the cat will take its time eating your eyeballs and give you time to just. Ending 10. You are what you eat. And now we're gonna play with the cat. Poor thing was probably bored stiff sitting in that old box all day, just watching crowds of people walk by them, ignoring them. You can't just leave them alone as soon as you're home. A little interspecies socializing wouldn't kill you, right? Oh. You just want some attention, don't you? You want to play, huh? Okay then. Let's do some yarn. If every movie and cartoon involving cats that you've watched since childhood is to be believed, then you can deduce with almost absolute certainty that cats freaking love yarn. Probably. You unearth some from an old box in the hallway closet that's filled with knickknacks from various abandoned hobbies. You consider just handing the ball of bright red yarn over to the cat and supervising from the side. But that would defeat the idea of playing together, wouldn't it? You cut off a decent length of string from the ball of yarn and go back to the living room. The cat is resting on the floor. It's not asleep, but when it looks up as you enter the living room, you feel like it could doze off right then and there. You'll fix that. You smirk a little, confident with your surprise, and let the piece of yarn dangle just above the floor, pinched between your thumb and index finger. The sudden shift in the cat's demeanor makes your heart start to beat a little faster. Its posture is barely changed at all, but a subtle shift of the head and ears, a slight tension in the shoulders, a sharpness in the gaze as it locks onto the yarn dangling an inch above the floor. The cat could still pass as being almost relaxed, calm. and yet the air is thick with its eagerness to lunge forward, waiting for the right moment to strike. You feel like you've just witnessed the awakening of the perfect predator. You're almost afraid of what will happen once you make the first move. But it will be you who makes the first move. You take a deep breath. Relax your shoulders. And yoink. The cat had lunged the instant you wiggled the yarn, but you're faster. It completely misses as you flick your wrist, making the yarn recoil out of its reach like a terrified snake. Having overshot the landing in its eagerness, the cat stumbles and looks around as if shocked at its failed attack. You generously click your tongue to help reorient it. The cat whips its head around at the sound. You're slightly taken aback at the intensity of its stare on the yarn, but you persist. You wiggle the yarn again, encouragingly. And yes, maybe a little tauntingly. This time, the cat anticipates the yarn's upward dodge and leaps up to swipe at it, but you're already one step ahead, puppeting the yarn to dance gracefully out of reach once more. Come on, you can do it. It's a little condescending, but you can't seem to help it. For some reason, it feels a little good knocking the feline down a peg or two. At least it seems to be enjoying itself. You hope, anyway. You keep going. The cat's movements have gotten more aggressive. It must be getting frustrated. You could swear it nearly took a shot at your eye last time. It had jumped so high and erratically. You've been keeping the yarn in constant motion, afraid to slow down. Your wrist is starting to get tired. The cat doesn't seem to be losing any energy, though. It's like it's getting faster and faster. Your wrist finally cramps sharply, making you lose control of the yarn's motion as the tip of it brushes lightly against your stomach. Slash. Pain rips low across your torso, into your torso. Blood pours out of your mouth. In a daze, you look down and see red blooming slowly along the bottom of your shirt, around the tears in the fabric. You watch as long, thick ropes of something pour out from under your shirt into a bloody heap on the floor at your feet. A single red streaked rope still hanging from you, connecting you to all that mess. Are those your... You crumble to the ground and topple over onto your side. Your vision has gone blurry, but you can just make out the shape of something small and a deep, inky black as it walks over and inspects your... Oh god, they're your intestines. Before it starts to giddily roll around in the mass of your bloody insides next to you. Darkness falls over you. The cat sounds happy. Nonsensically, you wonder where the yarn has gone, but there's really no need to worry about it. The cat seems content with the next best thing. Ending 11, at the end of your rope. I think my laser pointer still works. Cats are curious creatures by nature, but they're also natural hunters, sort of. Why not pass the time by letting the cat hunt after something it'll never quite understand? That sounds a little mean when you think of it like that, but it's not like the cat will know anyway. Ignorance is bliss, or so they say. So you dig out your old laser pointer from your long-gone, dreaded days of group presentations in school. You flip it on and see that even after all this time, the batteries still work. You get a little kick out of aiming it at a mirror hanging in the living room so it reflects off the glass, making a little red dot appear on your knee. Uh-oh. The cat cautiously walks over, stopping every few steps to cast a look of suspicion at you. When it finally reaches you, it lightly presses a paw to your knee, like it's trying to catch the dot of red light as casually as possible. You manage to hold back a chuckle. Not that it really matters. The cat isn't paying attention to you at all, entirely focused on the light now resting on top of its paw. You move the light a little higher above your knee. The cat reacts immediately, trying to pin the light down. But in the next second, you've already moved it to the floor. The cat jerkily follows, attempting a more energetic pounce when you shift the red dot. Over here, over there, and over there. By the couch, on the couch. Cat might be ignoring you, but you're certainly enjoying yourself. It's been a while since you've laughed this much. You're laughing so much, in fact, that you accidentally shift the red dot onto a lamp beside the couch. In its haste to get the light, the cat leaps onto the lamp, sending both to the ground. Oh my gosh. The cat is sitting in the middle of the former lamp's broken shards. Back hunched, its head whipping around, back and forth, as if in a panic. You quickly turn off the laser pointer and rush over. I'm sorry. Are you okay? Are you hurt? You reach down to pick up the cat and check it for any injuries when... Slash. Ow. Hey. The cat swipes at you, claws extended. It backs up and twitches away, making frantic half-turns in various directions as if looking for something, or waiting for something to appear. Ah, geez, that really hurt, you know. You hold the hand with the scratch close to your chest. It's bleeding, but it's not too big. You're more annoyed than anything, but... Immediately, your annoyance starts to bleed into concern. You watch in shock as the cat starts to run around, tearing at the carpet, the sofa, your armchair. You want to stop it, but you're afraid of getting in the middle of its rampage. You consider calling a vet for advice on how to calm it down, but for some reason, you feel like that wouldn't be a good idea. What happened to you? Is it... An idea comes to you, or rather, a realization. You grasp the laser pointer, aiming it safely away towards the floor in the middle of the living room, thinking, hoping, that the cat would calm down if it found what it was looking for. You turn on the laser pointer. The cat's reaction is immediate. You screwed up. In the span of mere seconds, you watch as the cat spots the red dot from its perch on the shredded armchair, leaps high into the air, changes in the air, and slams down upon the dot on the floor with a weight and force that shakes the whole apartment, maybe even the whole building. You wonder dazedly how none of the other tenants have rushed over to complain about the noise. Yet as you stare at the sight in front of you, the cat has somehow grown in size, eyes bulging and glowing, tail thrashing, teeth enlarged, bared and covered alarmingly in a bubbling froth. Its giant claws rip and shred through the carpet, through the floor tiles, and even below them, ravenously trying to get at the red dot. Your hands are shaking. You don't know what to do. You feel trapped. You have to get away. Get it away from you. You slowly back up towards the door. The light moves with you. Instinctively, you flick the light away. This way, then that. The cat stampeding after it. So fast. Smashing through the TV, breaking the couch in half. Too fast. Bulldozing through the wall into the hallway. A chance. You turn, intending to bolt out of the door and never come back. But in your haste, you forgot something. You forgot several somethings. You forgot the laser pointer gripped like a lifeline in your hand. You forgot the mirror, still miraculously hanging on the wall next to the hallway. The laser reflecting out of it, putting a small glowing red dot on the back of your head. As you reach the door, you forget that it's locked. You don't even have the chance to turn around before the cat lunges all the way across the room at you. You're torn to shreds before you can even blink. Ending 12. Targeted. Okay, now we're gonna play some classic hide and seek. What about hide and seek? You're not quite sure how this is going to work. Can a cat even understand the concept of a game? Let alone one with rules like hide and seek? Here, just... You pick up the cat and turn them away from you before hiding behind the armchair. You're almost certain the cat must have turned and looked while you were hiding. Out of confusion, at least, if nothing else. Regardless, a few moments later, the cat cautiously peeks around the armchair at you, eyes curious. You smile and scoop it up, holding it out in front of you. You found me, you win! The cat looks confused, but pleased at your praise. This time you put it on the armchair so it can't see your hiding spot as easily. You dash over to the kitchen, hiding behind the counter. It takes a little longer this time for the cat to find you. This time, when it does, it startles you by hopping down onto your lap from the countertop above. Whoa! You found me again! Okay, you win. You reward it with little scratches behind the ear and under the chin when it leans into your touch. Okay, why don't you give it a try? You go and stand in the middle of the living room. The cat following you. You make a show of covering your eyes and turning around. Okay. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. You turn around and see that the cat is gone. Huh. You sure catch on quick. There aren't that many places available in your apartment for someone your size to hide. But without the opposable thumbs needed to open the closed doors in the halls, the cat will have its limits too. Fair game. Okay, now where to look? Check out the living room. You look behind the couch and the armchair. Under the coffee table, nothing. The living room is pretty sparse when it comes to furniture after all. You peek under the counter, grab a chair and check on top of the fridge. You even open the cupboards along the floor, just in case the cat managed to squeeze inside. Nothing. You decide that's for the best. The kitchen is for making food, not playing games. You peek around the corner into the hall. Nothing. You're not sure what you were expecting. With all the doors closed, there's nowhere in the hall for the cat to hide. You couldn't find the cat anywhere. You start to get a little worried when you hear a soft sound coming from the hall. You head to the hall and listen again. It sounds like it's coming from your bedroom, but you walk down the hall to your room and gingerly opening the door. God. The cat trots out and runs around your legs and meowing insistently. It looks disappointed somehow, perhaps in your apparent subpar seeking skills, but you lift the cat into your arms and look at your bedroom door. How did you get in my room? You know the door was closed, right? The cat wiggles out of your hold and runs out of the hall. You follow to see it sitting in the middle of the living room. Upon seeing you, the cat promptly turns around. Guess it wants to take its turn seeking. You're about to indulge it by hiding around the corner again when... The lights. Did the power go out? Darn it. As you wait for your eyes to adjust to the darkness, you notice that the cat hasn't moved an inch. Was it scared? Hey, are you... What? For some reason, your heart starts beating faster. You consider going over to the cat, but when you do, thought makes you feel. You feel like your life is in danger. You need to hide. Now. Oh man. Hide in your bedroom. Quietly rush into the bedroom, carefully closing the door behind you. The only place to hide in your bedroom is your closet. You lock the door as quietly as you can before lunging into the closet and sliding the door shut. As soon as you secured yourself inside the closet, there's a sudden shift throughout the entire apartment, as if something can sense that you're as ready as you'll ever be. As if it can sense that you're ready to be hunted. A horrible chill runs down your spine as you realize that's what this game has become. This isn't a simple game of hide and seek anymore. This is being hunted by a predator as prey. It never really mattered where you chose to hide, did it? As if in answer to your question, you hear a loud slam on the bedroom door. You just managed to hold back from making a startled noise at the sound. Your heart rate picks up again, making it feel hard to breathe quietly, hard to breathe in general. Tears fill your eyes as you cover your panting mouth with your shaking hand. It knows. It knows. Crying with your hands over your mouth, trying to smother the choked sounds leaking out from you. You slide down the wall at the back of your closet into a heap on the floor. You flinch harshly at the sound of the door being ripped off its hinges, followed by a loud crash against the wall on the other side of the room, like the door had been blown away. The silence that follows is almost too much to bear. You can't. A single sob escapes through your nose. You squeeze your eyes shut in defeat at how loud it sounds in the quiet of the room. Not much point in hiding it anymore, is there? You instinctively put whatever energy you have left into listening for footsteps, even as you emotionally shut down, but you hear nothing. 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 Then... something slides open the closet door. You've curled in on yourself, knees up, back curved forward, head down, mouth covered, eyes shut tight, so tight it hurts. You don't want to look. You don't want to look. But that's what it's waiting for. It won't end you without this final act of cruelty, of making you look at it before it takes your life. So cruel. You just want this to be over. So, you open your eyes. You see something glaring in at you from the darkness beyond the closet door. It looks disappointed. In that moment, before you draw your last breath, you almost consider apologizing for being such unworthy prey. Guess your hiding skills were just as subpar as your seeking skills. Ending 13. Now we clean the cat. Upon giving it a second look, you realize that the cat isn't exactly clean. Not surprising, since up until bringing it home, it's been sitting in a dirty old box, in an alley full of scattered garbage, for who knows how long. You've heard that cats can keep themselves clean, but maybe this is one of those times that a little human help couldn't hurt. You head into the bathroom and set things up, trying to remember how to wash a cat. You're definitely no expert, but you think the best way to get a cat clean would be definitely quickly. Cats don't like water, you think, so a quick wash would be the way to go, right? You decide to do everything at once, filling the tub deep with soapy, bubbly warm water. A quick dunk here, a short scrubbing there, then rinse and dry. The cat won't even know what hit it before everything's over. You open the door and click your tongue, beckoning the cat inside. It quickly scampers in, curious of the newly available setting. You close the door so it won't be able to run out and make a mess of the apartment. Steeling yourself, you roll up your sleeves. You lift the cat and carry it over to the tub. Your plan already compromised as the cat starts to struggle in your hold. Probably shouldn't have held it so it couldn't see the water. Ow! Ow, hey! It scratches at your arms. You knew it wouldn't be happy about the water, but you didn't think it'd be this irate. Still, as mad as it will be at you for a little while, you know this is for the best. A deep scratch at your bicep startles you, making you drop the cat into the tub. Shoot. Kitty? The cat doesn't re-emerge, hissing and yowling like you thought it would. You rush over and dunk your arms beneath the soapy surface, searching for the cat. What if it bumped its head and blacked out? It would drown. But you don't find the cat. Instead, what the? You watch as the water starts to darken. At first, you think it's just dirt from the cat and feel a little vindicated about your decision, but the water darkens further and further until it looks like you filled your tub with black ink rather than water. Even the soap bubbles are a translucent obsidian now. Something's not right. But as soon as you have this thought, whoa, you just felt something tugging you from under the water. You try to pull away, but your arms won't budge. Whatever it is, it pulls you closer towards the water. You try to use your free hand to release the drain plug, but when you dunk your other arm in the water without thinking, it's grabbed too. Both hands are strained. You can't get any leverage to force yourself free. Help! You're dragged into the murky waters of the tub. You're dragged down, and down, and down further still. Much further than it should be possible for your bathtub. You can't breathe. You think you can't see either, but as you draw your final breath, you think you see what has been pulling you down. Something resting deep, deep down below. Something waiting for you. Ending 14. Bath Hater. And this time we're going to clean him carefully. You think careful is the way to go. Cats aren't always fond of water, so you doubt it'll be a fan of an excessive amount of it. So you pick the cat up and place it gently in the sink before turning on the water. The cat is startled, but ultimately doesn't try to run away. Nice. You lather your hands with some soap and carefully give the cat a thorough, half scrub, half massage. After a few minutes, you rinse the cat completely and gather it up in a blanket, drying it. Then you take a brush and carefully run it through the cat's fur. The cat seems like it's in heaven as you brush it. Some hairs are sticking to you, but you don't mind. In fact, quite a lot of fur is sticking on you. You try to brush it away, but it won't come off. Guess you're up next for a bath yourself. You try to ignore the fur and finish with the cat quickly, but more hair keeps sticking to you. Your hands, your arms. Before you realize it, they're covered in fur that won't come off. It's thick enough that you try to just yank it off, but... Ow! What? Pain lances through the spot you tugged at. Upon closer inspection, you see that the hair is growing out of you. You can actually feel it now. Fur growing out of your back, your neck, your face, your eyes, your tongue. It's even growing inside your throat. As you collapse and start to choke on the thickening fur in your esophagus, the cat leans up to lap at the fur growing on your forehead, grooming your hair as thoroughly as you did for it earlier. You think it'd be sweet if you weren't currently losing air. Still, feels nice at least to be looked after and cared for in some way, even if it's just for a little while longer. The cat's careful grooming is the last thing you feel before you're no longer able to breathe. Ending 15. Self-care buddies. Alright, so that is all of the Take the Cat Home endings. And there's about 19 more endings. So we'll try to do that in the next video. Whether or not that gets split into 2 as well will be another story. So if you guys liked the video, be sure to like it, subscribe, comment your favorite ending, and make sure you guys stick around for the next part, because we're going to be hopefully finishing this week. So I appreciate you guys coming out, and take care of yourselves.